How come you don't laugh none? Ain't you got something to make you just smile?
My sister, and I ain't seen her in years.
You know, if you ain't gonna laugh, you need to sell your funny bone.
Oh! I was married to a man I didn't love.
Whatever I say, go.
And he took my sister away from me.
Even if we have to part, you and me, us have one heart.
How come you so nice?
Don't know.
Maybe you too nice.
You seem like trouble.
I come here out of respect. But if there ain't none to get, that sure ain't none to give. There's gonna be some changes made.
You got to stand up.
I know my sister somewhere in the world. Someday we're gonna meet again.
Keep your head held high, just like Mom taught us.
It's time I be free from you and then turn to creation.
I'd die before I let that happen.
Good. That's just the going away present I've been needing.
Oh!
For you to see the world.
Push the button.
Ooh, sweet and loving God.
Hey, everybody, we mad at you. The 1985 Color Purple. Without even seeing it, it has already received the coveted cyanide poisoning.
Immediately. Child.
And since they want to go through it.
Cause bro.
We'll go also, we'll just like move aside now. And let's go with the coveted sisterhood.
The coveted.
Because I've been living 45 years and I'm still waiting to see this sisterhood among women. I'm waiting because I've never even seen women stay friends no longer than a few years, or until I can't use you anymore, until you don't do what I say, until you don't kowtow to me, until you ain't part of the clique, until you get a man and we get upset and we can't ruin, until that's what they coveted sisterhood is.
Yeah.
It benefits me the same. They look at you until women get to you. They look at yes, they will do their best to try to combine in public against all men that they are the sisters together. But then you get them rascals in a cartel, as if it's against a man or if it's a job or something they want themselves. They will slit each other's throat to get what they want. Then they'll sit up there and say, "Well, I never said I was your friend."
Oh yeah. Tell my girlies, how many times y'all seen American Next Top Model? They come in, oh, we all have to support each other. And they threw them under the bus so quick for that spot. Please.
And then you got this mess, 1985. And we knew how this image, they tried to vilify men. Talk about how men beat on women all their life. And now for some reason, it's ingrained into every black woman that somehow men turn to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And somehow just even if they don't have any type of live event walking through their life where they're seeing a woman with the eye socket falling out. They know
Right.
they see more men and more women and then encourage more women to hit men. And yet and still they'll sit up there and every time you hear them, men somehow magically beat on women when the full moon come out.
Nah, like him saying, he was like, yeah, because you just walked down the neighborhood and saw everybody with black eyes.
I would have made it through my whole life. My father, my grandfather, my great-grand, always positive women, always treated well, loved. My sisters, even Nate, never got hit, but yet and still, I tell you.
And trust me, a couple times
they don't go with even the real statistics and what they even see in their real corporal life and just simply looking around and say, yeah, in my whole life, I might have seen one woman got into a fight. They would swear every woman, every friend, somehow all the men are beating on them. These college
and like we said, we're not saying like it don't exist. We know it exists, but like, come on, it's not like an epidemic.
No, that's what I said. Even when I said it, I know a lot of people say I get tired of that disclaimer. I get sick and tired of when you say I don't see a lot of people. We gotta feel that. Well, we gotta say you're not. We know it does occur. You ain't
because everybody go get to crying.
But do you go by the same thing? Say, yeah, but we're not saying that every woman do. We know that there are women out there that beat, and they don't say that disclaimer when they sit up there looking at a woman beating on a man. But you be like, oh well, he had to do something to her. He made, but was the moment the men like 95% of men ain't bleeding on women, but we gotta feel and say, oh well, but we know there are men. Idiot, there is always an exception. Not you, Nene. Don't sound idiot.
No. I'm just listening. Yeah.
Idiotic argument of we gotta say not all. What we gotta do? We always gotta put a disclaimer. Do we always we just said, Nene? We know we don't walk around seeing in our family like you said. You just don't see men. Even if you say in your family there was just one man who beat. Well, then you still got 10 other men in your family that then beat women.
No, because we're gonna speak about reality. I kind of see the abusive. I seen them fighting each other. I didn't really see him just beating on her. I've seen and even police have stated most of the domestic calls they take, women have initiated it. So I'm just saying.
And then you can even in the Color Purple. What do you have on the second thing? You have when Oprah Winfrey, she was beating up on Harpo, but like I said, people don't talk about.
Oh, everybody, yeah.
But it's like you said, that's the reality of most abusive relationship. Is usually both of the people are fighting each other. That's what it is.
As Judge Judy, even she was like, "Oh, so y'all were fighting."
Yeah, that's it. It's just and when you see this show again, they talk about the sisterhood, and we've talked about it before. How do you expect to grow as a community society where you sit up there and continually, like I said, vilify or bash one thing and say, "Oh, we're going to uplift the sisterhood." Instead of just saying, let's uplift families. Like, why don't we uplifting families? The nuclear family, uplift the nuclear family and say, okay, this one. And then even with the nuclear family, you have another disclaimer. Well, all the times weren't good. Relationship all the time, and your job every day isn't good.
True.
And they act like two people to get together and never argue, never debate on maybe how they're going to raise a child, a certain situation and then they go, oh my God, well, my dad yelled at my mom. And that is life. That is life. I'm so tired of us walking around in relationships and man, oh my God, this is verbal abuse. How long was you in that verbal abuse? I was in the verbal abuse for 20 years. So you just stay.
Yeah.
That impactful. You just, well, there was reasons because what did you do to receive the verbal abuse? Oh, nothing. I just was doing some stuff I shouldn't have been, and messing up stuff. But he yelled at me.
So, like you say, do they scream verbal abuse if it's like a friend or a coworker or something? That's not verbal abuse, but the man that knows me, yeah.
Throughout all history, and that's why I love it because they use verbal abuse when it comes when a man raised his voice. You're looking like nobody have a more cutting tone than a woman.
That's true.
And they'll sit up there and look at a man. Once they start acting silly and saying stupid stuff, and he be like, "What you say? Oh my God, it's verbal abuse." Well, stuff that you just have been doing. So anyway, back to
good child.
It's a fallacy. They talking about this sisterhood mess. Fallacy doesn't exist. Unless they want something. You better look at like what people said. Nothing in this world is free. And you talking about all these women gonna come together. It's coming together to the common ground of somehow men oppressing us. So that way we come together as a sisterhood to let you know that even though we say our husband who's taking care of us and probably be the most loving thing, he oppressing us because I want to go out there and act crazy one time and he told me that wasn't a good idea and I should sit down and be quiet. How dare he do it? But yet and still, my girl told me I should go out there and just like over with and hit this white man because he can't tell me. And then when you in jail, who's coming to visit you? Who coming to visit you when you take their advice? I know all of you women who looking at this now who bristling with your broomstick banditry.
Oh yeah, you know, yeah.
You don't receive some of the foulest, dumbest advice from other women, and then when you get in the crap storm, then you look at them, they gone. You can't find them. They ain't trying to help you, and then they'll tell you the same thing they always use. They covenant way out is you didn't have to do what I said. And you,
oh yeah.
I say this because I've had a lot of girlfriends, and I mean girlfriend who done. You sit back and you watch the devastation of other women telling you, sit back like that's not gonna go well. Well, you know, she said because that's only because that's what you wanted to hear, but it's not gonna end with. And then when it doesn't end with, you're right, you was right, and yeah, I thought she was my friend, and I'm looking like y'all grown women. It's not like well, high school all your life looking at dealing with other women. A girl and knowing like, they will mess me up. Me listening to these, and they'll fall in the same thing because this is what I wanted to hear. And when she said it, she was like, "Well, God, I gotta go home to my man." Well, I divorced my man because, like you said, he wouldn't. Well, that's you.
I look. Nobody told you to leave him. For real. Cause like you said, Celie sitting over there. Cause we, everybody want to hype up Mr. being abused and all that stuff. We just look past all the other fuck shit of the show. I hate to say that, but it is the fuck shit. Celie literally told Harpo to go hit another female, but we're a sisterhood. She literally said you need to beat her. Oh, but I forgot that's because of the way she was brainwashed. Okay, if she was beaten and she didn't like it, why would she go tell another man?
Just said, she was groomed. She was groomed. She was the victim. So she was victimized for so long that she fell in love with her oppressor, and then that's why she just told
Stockholm syndrome.
That's it. Thank you, Nene. That's what I was looking for. That's what they'll make up excuse. So I'm like, so what happened when the woman is beating on the man and then he still love her? Then does he have Stockholm? So no. See, he's supposed to it's because he's not acting right and she got to keep him in order.
Ain't it? And that's the crazy part about it too. She went home and beat on the black dude. The black dude, took the least because he loved and respected her. He wanted to hit her. Oh wait, he hit her, but you know what I'm saying? He took the beating back because he took it. A man can beat a woman. I don't care. But she went out and hit a stranger, a random white dude.
That white man.
Don't fall for it.
You saw her, like people say, you saw her laid out in the street.
Man, that was crazy.
I think it comes to the premise that a lot of people have to constantly tell the people who think it's already hit to other people. It's like, why are you putting your hand on it? A lot of you can walk away. I never believe in this verbal abuse BS, especially when two people are arguing back and forth. Yeah, I don't want to hear you telling me about this verbal abuse. Now, it's different if somebody was like cowering in a corner and shaking, and because that ain't someone they scared of verbal abuse. They scared the person probably going to get physical with them. But
verbal abuse is I have your daughter. You pay my $10,000. That's abuse. Wait, but yeah.
But like I said, like I said, you're counted for what it is because you're both in a toxic relationship. Don't start saying it because most time you hear I heard one woman talking about this guy was he was toxic and he was abusive, he was controlling, he was doing all that. And after the end of this whole story, you won't make this up. She said, "Oh yeah, and I dated my boss a month later after we broke up." And I was like, so when a man was telling you, when your first love was telling you all this and calling you out on what you was doing,
that's all it was. Yeah,
the perfect stranger, and then still tried to vilify the man who you knew that you was trying to move in a situation where you could get with your boss, and then that this man loved you for 5 years, but instead of you saying, "Oh yeah, he was catching me texting this guy and going over here," you tried to immediately vilify him to make it seem like he was controlling and he was jealous.
He's insecure.
What you was doing.
Ain't it? He just called you out on
knew
it.
what you was doing. And then I'm like, I was a perfect stranger. She would tell me to, and I was like, okay, so that's kind of weird that you would 5 years, he was your first of everything, and then all of a sudden, yeah, he switched up, and then he became Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. That don't like that. Come, I kept telling her, okay, so no, like what did you? And then when she told me, oh yeah, once like you said, she cheated on him before, and it was like, well, his whole family blocked me from him, and that what really ticked me out. Like, whoa, yeah, you said he was doing all this. But then somehow the family didn't want him to deal with you anymore. No.
Sprinkle.
No.
Sprinkle.
That's when she said, I was with my boss a month. No, you was with your boss before.
Yeah.
And then they blocked, like, no, because that man really loved you. And so you hurt him. And so instead of to keep you from coming back in his life, the family blocked you from talking to him.
Yeah.
You're thinking like, but I miss him. But I'm showing you, but it's like this constant thing of we victimhood. We know we doing something, but then it's verbal. But then that instead of just saying, yeah, it was toxic, I was doing some stuff I shouldn't have. He called me out.
Oh no accountability. No accountability. No, it was his fault. It was his fault. But like you said, the whole victimhood crap. That's what they're trying to push again with the new color purple, bringing it back out, because of course everybody kind of got to figuring out like maybe it wasn't too factual, so they're like, okay, look, this time Mr. got a shotgun. Okay, it wasn't rocks. He had a shotgun this time. He was trying to take her out. And like you said, all of them came with fuck shit. Celie was whatever slow. I don't know what she had going. The I forgot her name, the singer lady.
Yeah,
she had that stuff she couldn't wash away type stuff. Oprah was over here in an unhappy marriage. All them came together with their trauma.
But even with that, Nana, you're right. Even if we get into the singer, I'm like, I don't know her name, but I know she's playing by Taraji. I know she's being played in this particular one. But it's the whole point of it. It was almost, I loved it at the end when she said, God is trying to tell you something. Because what it said is that stop trying to change someone else to accept your life. If you know your father was a bona fide fire and brimstone preacher who didn't do it, don't try to sit up there and try to make him look like, oh, well, he cut all ties to me and I feel so bad, but he's my papa. He should just accept his first foremost, and you can hate it all you want to, was to God. And if he raised you a certain way, and you talk to some of these parents who are older, when they raise you a certain way, and you do things that's contrary to their belief, to how they upbring you, whatever, yes, they will cut you, because they know at the end of the day, they know how detrimental it is. See, when they told you, some of your parents, when they were doing the best they could to raise you in a way that they could protect you from decisions down the road, that if you go this route, it's going to be bad. I used to always hear my mother used to always say, when they used to have someone in their family on them, when they was just like was reprobate and won't do it, they said, the old folks used to always say, there's a stop sign right down the road for you. That's what they would say. Because they knew.
Never been wrong.
Keep this path. So even with this, I do like it in the fact that, like I said, she was a blues singer. She know her father disapproved for it. He excommunicated with her because that's the way he was. But see, at the end, she realized, oh my God, all this time I was fighting and I was going to all these things and I was in these clubs and I was smoking and I'm drinking, I'm doing all this stuff. She got tired of it and said, hey, I went back to God because I got tired of it. And what my daddy said was right.
Yeah. And like you said, I'm glad you brought that up. They even try to demonize the daddy for being a strong black father, because that's what a black father would do. He expect more from you. He know you're better than that. Of course he's going to be disappointed until you get it together and realize who you are. Yes, he's going to take away his love. But that's what a stern black father does. But they try to demonize that.
And even with that, that's what we try to say, because a lot of people, especially women, you hear, especially even in modern day, you hear the concept of, I got to be happy. But you got to realize, everybody got to always realize this, is that every choice you make impact the people around you. It doesn't matter. You think, well, I'm just doing this because of me. I'm just out here on dinner. I'm just sleeping with all these men. All that stuff still get back to your family. If you come, I got an OnlyFans, still all that stuff get back to your family. It impacts your family, everybody talking about it. And then you don't understand, even from a father perspective, he got to hear all the men in the family. Every time he walk around, they looking at him talking about, yeah, dude, oh yeah, dog, his daughter do this. And oh yeah, man, we had sex with his daughter. I mean, imagine it. I mean, I know a lot of women, like they can't, but imagine the reputation on your whole family.
Oh, they don't care. It doesn't matter, because this is my body. This is my life. It's my choice. So what if my dad and my kids have to suffer through it? That everybody should just deal with it. All right, everybody just needs to learn to accept it. Let me tell you guys something. No one will ever accept it. It's never been accepted since the dawn of time. I prefer if you just be honest with yourself and just go with it, and basically just accept the fact that it's gonna have consequences. It is what it is.
It's almost like you said, Nana. It's almost like you would say, how long is you gonna lie to yourself? Because a lot of times you can see on certain even podcasts, the first time when they open them up, well, my body count doesn't matter, what I can do, and you can see the lie, you can see the shit, you can just see the blatant like lies and deflection, and it doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter, and so then like people keep saying the number one rule, like you said, okay, so if it doesn't matter, what's your body count?
Oh, not only that, if it don't matter, would you be cool with your daughter doing it? But why?
But that's the number one reason why the body count. I know a lot of people, you hear on some of the podcasts, they tell you this essence of, oh, it's ensures paternity. No, it didn't. Let me tell everyone out there who make it to this point. The reason why men do not like promiscuous women is because that woman would teach his daughter the same thing. It doesn't matter if you married her. When your daughter go out there and thought she was going to be promiscuous, his wife wasn't going to be there to say, no, I'm raising you to be a wife that's not, they'll tell, oh, well, yeah, what do they say? Oh, well, yeah, everybody need a whole fate. No. And that's what that promiscuous woman you would have married or have your child by, because a lot of times if you're going to marry a promiscuous woman, it's not going to last. It's just not. It's not going to last.
And that's the whole thing. Haven't been in a relationship longer than maybe 3 months and want to sit here and say that they can be a wife and know how to raise your kids into your daughter into not being a hoe. How? The track history, like that's why the body counts matters. I'm sorry, like you said, it just is what
But like you said, but I know we're going off a tangent, but it goes to like what you said, and like.
You had no stable relationship throughout your whole life.
And that's I
expect you to just flip for me.
All these people giving advice with no receipts. No receipt. They don't even have their parents who they can look at and say, the reason I can tell you that because I looked at my parents like me, I'm not mad, but I can still look at my parents and say, this is the path they chose. And at least I can look and say, it's successful. They have made it 50 years. They have made it. So
and I guarantee you they weren't happy the whole 50
about
years.
A relationship. Why am I going to go to a divorced person? Why am I going to go to somebody who ain't never, like you said, ain't never been in a relationship for longer than 3 months? Why the heck am I going to listen to you when I can go to someone who's been in it for 50 years?
Like they said, a married woman trying to take single women advice. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? And just to make it clear, the only reason we're so passionate, I know we went off on a rant and everything, but it's because y'all don't understand the stigma that this movie has done for 40 years. I think what it's been 40 years now?
50 years. 1985 when it came out. 85. So
See, ever since the movie came out, that's when everything ever since the movie came out, that's when everything got warped. It tore a big division between our community, like a big division. Because for some reason, we saw it and all the girls took it as, oh, that I know something like that, or I assume it could be like that, and then it just, that movie is one of the biggest divisions, and that's why everything is the way it is now. Like you said, it basically glamorized girls being with having each other back, even though they all had trauma and they all was doing fuck shit to each other. But hey, let's just have each other back, and we'll just hold on to each other trauma together and suffer through it until we die. No. Like, and that's not forget that being a strong black father means he just being mean and he's a jerk. A man basically, trying to, do what I don't know what Mr. had going, but Harpo trying to put his foot down and get beat up for it. Like, the white dude, he can knock her out and no repercussions. Like, you get what we're not going to sit here and go past.
Yeah, it's like you said, Nana, it's consequences to your action. Even if, like you said, his daughter wanted to go out and she want to choose the route of the world versus the godly route, and we just say it didn't pertain to the text or just saying the church route, well, then there are consequences. And I see so many people make decisions and they just think like you should just accept there are consequences. And there come with a consequence to be like, that's not, you and I cannot walk together because we don't agree on certain things. So I cannot just like, well, you ain't my friend. What then we're not? Because you cannot force me to change what I think. If I can sit there and look and say, hey, that's what you choose, that happened. But then you get mad at me and say, well, you're not my friend because you're not choosing what I choose. But I said you want to. But okay, that's good. But see, then you still need to do what and just know. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You're right. For this particular film, That's what it is. It tries to victimhood when someone said, okay, that's your life, that you deal with the consequences, versus simply saying, well, yeah, there are consequences to every choice you make. Whether it's good or bad, there's still consequences you have to go through. And so, but like you said, it goes into where it did really vilified men. It took one man who was like beating on, to show like he was just beating on this woman. And for the majority of the thing, we know good and well. Then you had a father who like was, I think I'm talking about the old movie, who died on top of
that's what I'm talking
because I guess he was a play up here. And then you had another man who was, like you said, the woman, she had a strong and independent wife who didn't want to listen to him, and she gonna sit up there and rule him, and she had brothers and ain't nobody gonna take. And you had all of that dysfunction, but then what happened? They want to just glorify a women just looking from the rose colored glint. All men are evil. All men are evil.
Yeah.
All men are evil. And
I'm not gonna lie, that's why I like the whole film, because at least the thing is, people, like you said, people choose to see what they want to see. It's in the movie. She went out to be promiscuous, whatever. She was a dang good singer. I'm not gonna take that from her. But the consequence of her action, she caught something she couldn't get rid of. That's what happens sometimes. Celie out here giving her friend bad advice, then got her dude beat up and stuff. That's what happens sometimes. Like, they wanted to look over. She wanted to buck up at a man, because she's so used to beating up her dude at home. She got locked up and put away.
But even when you talk about from Oprah Winfrey, sorry for cutting you on, just one thing she said, I had to fight my whole life. How in the hell are you in a see, that's another vilify. So you telling me all your brothers and your daddy, you had to fight it. We have seen the masculine, because you have a lot of it in today's Black community, the masculine women that I gotta take and buff up to a man, or even my brother, for no reason. No man is gonna tell me what to do. If that is good. If I'm sitting and saying, ain't no woman gonna tell me that, I don't gotta be nasty about it. Ain't no woman gonna tell me. Good. I just would say, okay, well, you and I don't align, so you stay over there, and I'll go this way.
Like Kevin Samuel said before, during slavery, marriage rates among the Black community was up to like what, 80-90%? It was way up. Like right when this film came out, that's when girls started getting their own, like, the child support, or what's it called, Section 8, all the types of government help.
Government aid. Yep.
When they brought out this film at that time, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, he could just beat me one day. Oh, I could come across a weak man. I could. Okay, and when I tell you,
like I said, they told you they put the man out the house. They severed that dependency, because when you're a husband and wife, there's a dependency.
Yep.
It isn't like you just got the state law that allow people to divorce without no consequences. There was no fault. You had to catch some. It was like a country. It literally was a binding country. But then they put in all these steps in place that now is just severing the dependency. And then they trying to tell everybody to go solo when live by themselves and die alone. I know, like you said, when you had like certain Kevin Samuels and all, and they were saying, well, buy a dog and die alone. But like you said, even though he's saying that people thought it was fun, no, it's a very sad realization. We about to see, it's an epidemic that's about to happen, where you got so many single people, or so many people getting divorced in their latter years, and don't realizing that all it takes is one illness, one sickness. And I don't got nobody. I remember hearing a woman, she was on the podcast talking about how, and she was a good one. She was a Hispanic lady. She was like maybe in her like 40s. And she was talking about, oh, I'm about to have a surgery, and I don't have a husband. I don't have a family. I have to depend on my mama. And that was the things that a wake-up call where you got to really realize. And a lot of they were even severed from just a normal family. Me and my family never get along. And then even when they get old, they're going to end up homeless. They don't have anybody to depend on. Or like I say, and that's what when Kevin Samuel kept telling you, buy a dog, die alone, everybody just thought it pertained to like a lot of women. And it pertained, we trying to put it to a lot of women, because like I said, they didn't want to take in cohabitate or get with someone, and they said
compromise.
That's it. But I know when you see him throughout life, when that woman, and they won't tell you, when a woman hit around the age of 40, a lot of times she begin to get into the decline of age, the decline of health. And so if she's going through these health issues and she don't have anyone, then like I said, who's going to take her to the hospital? Who's going to see her during recovery? Who's going to and I know they'll come and said men are the same way. That is true. Don't get me wrong. So that's like I'm saying from both perspectives. So even if you don't have a significant other, it's going to suck, but you better at least be close to your immediate family.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, life is going to hit you, and it's going to be whether you suddenly get unemployed, it's whether you suddenly come to a health crisis, whether it, like I said, let's say you can have cancer, God forbid, and you're older. Who's going to take you to all of your chemo? Who's going to help you recover when you at home throwing up from the chemo? You got to start thinking, like you're saying, someone saying, a lot of time, like, and go back to what Kim was saying, sometimes we just got to get together so we can make sure that we giving each other pills and shots. But a lot of people are looking at now like, oh, well, I don't need a man because I'm 20 and 30 and I'm healthy and I'm doing things and I'm in the club and I'm having fun. But life is going to hit you. You just don't. When you start hitting those old age, you got to start looking around. Like that's a come. I think a lot of people start saying, "Oh, well, especially women. Oh, I'm 30 and I'm not married." Women was pushing you to get married because your kids was an investment to help you later in life. So that when you got older, your kids was like of age, and they would say, "Hey, I'll take care of mama. I'll take care of dad." It's like you said, if she lose a job, getting too old, she get a health issue, can get unemployed. She can't. You got a family. If you say, I don't want no kids because my career, honey, that medical will run through your any type of saving and money you got. If it's that illness is big, and you can talk about, I got my 401k, and it does not matter when an illness hits you and you can't even, like people say, you can't even get out the bed on your own. That money is not. Won't even matter.
Time waits for no one. Everyone. Time waits for no one.
Long.
Once you get to 40.
But I know this is going to be alone. But like I said, what Nene and I are trying to convey is not it's stop with the gender war, and it's exclusively, primarily among Black people.
Yeah.
You have the Indians, you have the Asians, you have the white people, and all of them are still getting married. They still have that. I
don't see a color purple for them. They don't have a color purple. We're the only ones that keep pushing this crap for it.
And like we said, Nene, why can't you do a Black Titanic, a love story, a romance?
Yeah, we can have
positive.
A love story.
I don't want to hear the debauchery and the whoredom and they turning it up. I want to see something that's productive.
I want to see Black couples that met in college, fell in love.
And then I'm like, well, we got to go back to it. And why can't we have more Cosby show? You can talk all this BS about how they did Bill Cosby. Trash. I'm talking about what they conveyed into the Black community. That there could be a doctor.
Prince of Bel-Air, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Even Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, all those shows conveyed that there was something higher to aim for. There was something higher together to aim for.
A strong family structure.
Sisterhood. So we just gonna be, y'all gonna be in a convent together when you get old? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. That is a reality. When they tell you like, oh, just forget the man, we just gonna be sisterhood together, and these are women all in their 30s and 40s, so they just gonna what?
Hey, didn't you hear that? It's a rise on the roommate epidemic now. All the women.
Because look at how the rent is. It's like and it's still hilarious to me that you would try to. I heard of one time my date was in San Francisco and she had 5 roommates, and I'm looking like, all y'all women, like none, like so y'all just like, and she was like, but it wasn't like, oh, we in a roommate together because we like, no, it's just like, no, we have no other choice. The room the is cheap enough, and we primarily just stayed to ourselves and our own. So that ain't even really. You can at least, like I tell most people, you can at least have gotten married, got a family, knowing that
versus taking a chance with a man, and at least trying it out. Y'all, you too scared to even try it out because y'all don't sit here and let shows like Color Purple play in y'all head.
Yep, and tell you it did, and then you listen to, and then even most of the women, even when they get married, they listen to either if it's their single mother or their single friend, and like you said, they'll still take advice from single people. Now realize I'm married, I should be around other married people who I can give advice on going through troubles of marriage. They know. Yeah. All right, Nene.
Like I said, I'm trying to get married. I'm gonna listen to Turn Up Becky try to give me some advice while I'm trying to get married. That it's not gonna work. Okay, everybody. But overall, I know it's like a little different from my normal content, but you have to understand the connotation, baby. The connotation is deep with this show. This is what really pushed all what we're going through now. But anyway, we would love to know what you think. Thank you guys for the support. We really appreciate it. We're here to give you the real, wokeify you. That's what we're here to do. We're trying to get the cyanide out of you. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Real for the reals, and stay tuned. We'll bring you more. Boom.
Yep. You heard it here. So no matter what, the popcorn still ain't popping because this is detrimental to an entire community.
Oh my gosh. And it's
I
only
don't
ours.
I don't
It's only
believe
ours.
in there's no
Yeah.
such thing as sisterhood, there's no such thing as brotherhood. It is unity. And until both of us get together like every other race who is like kicking us while we on the ground, and what we'll keep doing, like they used to always say, there was an old phrase in the South that said black people are like crawdads. They'll keep pulling each other down instead of, like I said, working together and trying to get someone. But anyway, that's all we got. The popcorn is definitely not going to be popping, even though they got a star-studded cast. Just shame on all.
I love all y'all, but no.
Yeah, but shame on all y'all who's still pushing this agenda, making it even worse. Because I think even now you look at the black community, it's worse it ever had, and this is only going to still contribute to other divisions. So, all right, people, stay tuned. We thank y'all for listening to us. Until next time, keep the popcorn popping.